On this episode of Travels with Bill, we're on the Cote First Nation in Saskatchewan at the brand new arena. And I mean really brand new. It's opening day. We're going to take a peek inside and see what's happening. We're here just in time to check out the first skating going on. As you can hear, the crowd is going wild. This is the official opening ceremony, the very beginning, and the skaters all coming out. These are youth from the First Nation. They're showing the colors, but also how good they can skate. These are the folks who are going to make huge use of this brand new arena. They'll be here day after day skating and getting better and better. As they said in the opening ceremonies, one of them will be in the NHL someday. It's just a question of which one and which team. They're kind of hoping the Edmonton Oilers, but I guess if they're on the Winnipeg team, that'll be okay too. We got invited to watch the opening ceremonies and tour the building, plus have lunch. That's what we're going to do on this episode. Kind of take you for a walk around the brand new arena in case you haven't seen it. Well, here it is without all those people. The ice surface absolutely in mint condition. There's the brand new Zamboni. And the stands, the walking track. We're upstairs right now. There's both an upstairs and a downstairs. Don't worry, we'll take you through all of it. On the tour, you're going to see some of these people. Now, that's the mayor of Swan River. We've also got Clayton Mahalchuk in there and Tracy Boychuk. Tracy's a counselor for Swan River. Clayton's working on building the new arena in Swan. So, of course, they're here to see how it works. That's Dave Friday. He's the facility manager here, and he's just taking us into one of the areas that wasn't on public tour today. This is the ice plant, the compressor room. So you can see the two compressors on the go there, the big blue things. That's what's making the cold to make the ice out in the rink. This is an ammonia plant. It's remotely monitored. They do have a control panel here locally, but it's a firm out of Regina that can actually do the repairs here because of how the world works these days with the internet. They can see what's going on in the plant and diagnose things. If they need to come out, of course, they can do that too. But from the touch screen here, you can take a look at everything important, what the temperatures are that are going on the ice surface and everywhere else in the building, and how everything's working. So if there is a problem, you'll know about it right away. Ammonia is dangerous stuff. That's why there was a gas detector on the door outside the room and that double door. If something goes wrong in here, that gas detector makes sure nobody comes in so nobody gets hurt. Some refrigeration 101 here. We're looking at the chiller assembly, and the suction line comes up out of that. You can even see it labeled suction. That runs over to the compressors. This works exactly the same as your air conditioner at home does. It's just a lot bigger and using a different type of gas. It uses ammonia because that's a little more efficient here. That's the compressor itself. In your refrigerator at home, it would be the size of your hand. In your air conditioner, about the same. Here you need a truck to haul it. Big 3-phase motors power the thing. The return line goes back over there. That's the compressed gas. Then the expansion happens over here. That's what makes everything cold. And presto, you have a hockey rink. You can see how cold this is by the amount of ice that's frozen just from the air. I wanted to show you the pressure on this gauge too because it's quite impressive. We'll get to it in a second. This is brine supply, so it's super chilled brine from the compressors. What's actually in the arena isn't the ammonia, it's the brine. It's got salt in it, so it can be really cold without freezing, and that's what keeps the ice going. Here's that pressure gauge though, check it out. That shows 180 psi on this system. Wow, that's a lot of pressure running through this, but you need that to make that much ice. They say this ice cools incredibly quickly. They can make ice in just half a day here. It wouldn't really be a rink if it didn't have a Zamboni, and it's got a brand new Zamboni. That is so nice to see, isn't it beautiful? And an indoor snow pit too. So when the Zamboni scrapes the ice, obviously a lot of snow comes out of that. Instead of going and dumping outside, it ends up dumping the pit that's right in front of the Zamboni here. It then melts and they can reuse that water or get rid of it if they need to. The heat for that's actually coming off the compressors. So the waste heat from the ice, some of it goes into here, melts that snow and gets rid of it. Other parts of that heat actually goes under the ice, and that seems counterproductive, but you don't want the ground to freeze underneath the ice slab. So by heating under the ice, then insulating, then have the cold of the ice, the ground never freezes and it never starts to heave. Ever want to drive a Zamboni? Well, that's the look from the driver's seat. You know, Swan River's arena right now has that heaving problem. That's why they're looking at building a new one, and that's why these people are here on the tour. There's a floor sweeping machine. That's kind of cool. Into an electrical room here to see some of how it works behind the scenes as well. As you can imagine, a lot of electricity goes into a building like this. Also some natural gas. So there's the hot water heater making the hot water for the showers in the change rooms. We're on the visitors side of the rink right now, so that hot water tank will be supplying hot water for all the visiting teams. There's 3 change rooms on this side for visitors, 3 more on the other side for the home teams. We'll take a look inside some of those. See how big the wires are coming into the electrical panels here? Wow. That's pretty cool. You wouldn't want to put a screwdriver in the wrong spot in this setup because it could cause all sorts of troubles. There's light controllers up there as well, so it turns the lights off and on. There's some remote controls for that around the rink. Let's hop into one of those dressing rooms. We're on the other side here. This is home room number 2. Beautiful. The red and the blue here, a little bit of white accent at the top. And of course, all of this is brand new, so it looks absolutely incredible. The dressing rooms, well, they're pretty spacey. You could fit a whole team in here. I guess that's the point, right? But there's not going to be too much of a cramped feeling when you've got such an incredibly big room. Some benches here, hooks for hanging stuff, and then a shared washroom here. This is kind of a neat setup. So this can be used by either of 2 dressing rooms, home 2 or home 3. Shower section in here. These doors lock. So if, say, the home 2 team comes in to use it, they lock the door going to the number 3 dressing room. They get exclusive use of this. When they're all done, they unlock the door, they go back, and then the other team can use it. So we're just walking through here into the next dressing room, and kind of the same setup here. Another big dressing room. Now, they say one of the rooms is a little bigger than the other 2, so they do have one room for bigger teams. I guess if you had bigger people instead of the little kids playing or something like that. But it's wow. I think that's the only word for it. Just wow, because it's so beautiful in here. As we come out to the actual ice surface, we're downstairs now, and we can take a peek back across the entire rink. We'll move down just a piece here and actually get into the players' boxes. This is where the teams would be, and we're right on that home side. So the home team gets a short walk. The visitors have to come across the ice to get in here. Check out this neat little feature. See how those are removable pieces in there? Most of them are out on this side, so you can actually see through the plexiglass. So if there's little kids sitting on the bench, they can see what's happening instead of just looking at the boards themselves. You can then just put those covers back in if you want it to be solid so you don't see through. The other bench here is set up with them in right now. So from the outside, it just looks like white boards. And then when you come on the inside here, you can see the covers are in place. Lots of places to leave some water bottles there. It's a really neat setup so little guys can see through there and see a little better what's going on. A few people playing hockey here a little bit. Big Cote banner there. They're so proud of this facility. The chief was telling the crowd that this is an $18 million rink. And this isn't funded by the federal or provincial government. This was funded by the First Nation. They put the money together to build this because they wanted something special for the community. When they asked everybody here, what is it we need for the First Nation? Rink was number 1, so rink is what the council got busy and made. Some creature comforts here as well. The referee room just behind the benches here. So the referees have their own special dressing room. They can go in there and be separate from the players if they need to be. Obviously, they're here to be independent, right? So they don't want to necessarily be trying to use the same locker room. They've got their own spot. Nice little setup here. A little smaller, but you only have a couple referees per game. They've got private washroom facilities here. They even have a private shower. And I have to say, it's the nicest shower in the entire building. So I guess the refs are treated a little bit extra special. Look at that, just like your one at home, except a little bit more industrial strength. Coming back out down the hallway here, this is against the ice surface. There's another hallway behind us. I want to take you down into this mechanical room at the far end so you can see a little bit more of how this all works. Obviously, the hot water for all those showers needs to come from someplace. There's a peek inside a dressing room again there. This is the room for the home side where that all makes sense. See how the lights come on automatically? That's pretty cool. All the rooms have those sensors in them. So there's the hot water heater with big, thick pipes on it. Some HVAC units here as well. So what they're doing here is sucking the humidity out of those dressing rooms so they don't get all sweaty and gross. Each one of them has its own air supply going into it to make things extra special good. Of course, it takes lots of piping to do that, but it's got its own heat, some cooling there if needed as well. And, well, there go all the pipes off to the dressing rooms. Certainly no stranger to hockey in the community. They've been at it for a long time. They had an older arena. This is the replacement. The original built in 1972, but it's seen better days. This is brand shiny new. Seriously, it's opening today. It's the first time they're using it. Hockey game scheduled for a little later after our visit. And this weekend, a big tournament on the go as well. Lots of teams coming. I've heard from a lot of people. They're looking forward to playing in this rink. They think it's going to be absolutely amazing. Take you for a little walk down ice side here. So people could stand in here and watch against the glass, or they could stand upstairs. And to get upstairs, well, there's a few different staircases here. We're going to take this particular one. There's one on each side in the middle, but then there's also some staircases on the warmed part of the building by the concession that you can come up. These are the back hallways, so both sides have the back hallway for moving people back and forth, and then that front hallway, plus the upstairs portion for visitors and fans to come into. Just taking out some of the equipment they were using here for the grand opening that we saw a little bit earlier on. But there we have a little view of the rink, and then if we kind of come around here, we'll get to see how better how this works. See how the seating is up here? So several rows of seats, and then they also have those black things. Those are sort of little tables you could stand at. If you're having some food or something, you can put it on one of the tables, keep your drinks there as well. Neat little glass thing here set up along the edge, so you can kind of see a little bit in the video. You can maybe imagine a bit more as we come back around. So if you're sitting, you can actually be looking through that glass out onto the rink. They've got some wheelchair accessible spots here, actually quite a few of them in the rink. So if you're in a wheelchair, you can park here and have some of the best views in the house. So you're certainly well looked after. They have an elevator, brings you up from the main floor up to this top part, so you don't have to try and get up and down the stairs in a wheelchair either. And then we have the walking track. So this is pretty cool. 2-lane walking track goes around the entire outside of the building. So you have an opportunity to come walk here. They say this building will be open pretty much 7 days a week. So lots of people will be able to come in and use this, go for a walk and get some exercise. If there's some hockey going on, they can watch that too. But even if there's no hockey, well, going for a walk inside, kind of a neat thing, especially in the winter. They've thought of a lot of neat stuff here. If you look through those windows, you'll see the fitness center. We're actually going to go around to the inside here. We'll get in there and give you a little better view of it. There's the walking track as it goes on by. Another wheelchair spot there too, where you can sit in the corner and take a good look at what's going on. So where these folks are coming out of, this is the warmed portion of the building. So once you go through these doors inside, it's a lot warmer than it is in the rink. Not that it's cold out there either. It's heated pretty well. Here's the fitness center. So let's get in the door. You can still see a couple sticky notes, a few places in the building where they've got little bits of things they're going to fix up here as they finish it off. Check out all the equipment, an amazing amount of weights and some really neat machines to go with it. If you're into sports and into weightlifting, this is an amazing spot. Of course, the hockey teams can spend a lot of time in here training too and get better and better to keep following that dream of being in the NHL. We'll come back around to that guy in the step machine in a minute because it's a really neat step machine. It's got actual stairs. It's like an escalator. So I guess it's official. The Cote First Nation has 2 escalators now. They're at the rink and they don't necessarily take you from floor to floor, but you can go up and up and up. You may never reach the top, but it is a pretty neat machine. Obviously, I was a visitor here today, and it was so friendly. I lost track of how many people stopped to shake my hand and welcome me here. It was so nice to be in a community where people were so glad to see someone that had come and was sharing the excitement of the brand new building with them and introducing themselves. I had a great time. The food was pretty good too. We were treated to hot dogs and hamburgers inside, but then outside, bannock and a fish fry, and it was all absolutely delicious. We'll head on out here and get back into the hallway section and move on down. So we're upstairs right now, and below us is where the concession is. That's where all the people are right now too. They're busy eating that food I'm talking about. When we're done filming here, I'm going to go get some. Lots of windows, so from inside this more heated section, you have a good view too. The score clock, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but it's set to 5:22, and the score is 20-24. So that's May 22nd, 2024. That's opening day. There's that elevator I was talking about off in the corner there. Some washrooms as well. There's actually quite a few washrooms here upstairs because a lot of people would be upstairs. There's more downstairs. So the men's and the ladies' washroom there. It's set up so it could have some actual showers in there too a little bit later on. They're not there quite yet, but they could be there. That, of course, for that fitness room. On this side, the activity room. Now, this doesn't have much in it yet, but imagine what you could do here. You could do yoga classes, maybe some of those exercises where you bounce on the ball. I don't know what that's called, but it looks like a lot of fun, especially if it's not me having to do it. Lots of flex space here so that people could have group activities going on. Always windows in this building. You can always see back into the ice and almost always see back outside too, which is pretty cool. We're going to pop through this side door here to get back out to the ice side. So once we go through here, it's a little bit cooler. It does have heaters though. I didn't wear a sweater today and it was perfectly fine. We're looking at the back side of that track as it goes back around, and then of course course, you see the stands again and out to the ice surface. More kids out there now enjoying a little bit of pickup hockey before the official hockey game gets started a little bit later on. We'll head back downstairs and take a peek in through the windows. Now there's the concession. We'll go inside in a moment, but I wanted you to see how good the viewing area is. So if you're getting food and sitting at the tables, you can look right out at the ice and see what's going on. There's lots of people here for the grand opening, and they're working on getting those hot dogs and hamburgers. I see the mascot there too. That's kind of cool. So if you're inside there and look out, well, this is what you're seeing. There's not a bad seat in the house here at all, is there? I'm going to hop back into that back hallway and get into the actual area where the concession is. This is kind of the front of the rink. When you come here, you'll come in the front doors. Wanted to show you the manager's office. Now, he doesn't have necessarily a desk yet, but it's coming, and you know Dave Friday is going to love having that, right? So he's got the name on the door already, and a little look here. So he has windows out into the outside, big windows into the rink itself as well, so you can see what's going on there. I don't know, I've never dreamed of managing a rink, but seeing an office like this, suddenly I'm thinking, maybe I need a bit of a career change. This would be a pretty neat place to have a desk and see everything that's going on. We'll come back out here into the lobby section. I see Future Ford is here. No doubt hawking some vehicles, I suppose. Some seating area there. Now, this is a flex area on this side. You could do a little bit of whatever. Right now, they've got the seating set up in there, and then we're into the main concession area. So as you can see, a lot of people enjoying right now and waiting in line for some more of that delicious food. Huge commercial kitchen in there, so big hoods, lots of freezers and coolers in there, lots of shelving, so be able to make food here very quickly to keep up with feeding a lot of people. Everybody I talked to said the food was really good today. They were quite enjoying it. There's a bit of a lineup here, but that actually cleared out fairly quick because they were going through pretty quick with making the food and getting it to people. Some other stuff going on here. They had t-shirts on the go for opening day. I actually ended up with one of those, so I've got my very own grand opening t-shirt thing. They had some photo booths set up here too, so they're taking pictures of lots of kids and stuff. I don't know if you understand what a big deal this was for the First Nation today, because they had the opportunity to celebrate a brand new building. Oh, there's some ladies that wanted to be on camera today, and they wanted to remember this. So the pictures helping them do that, the big ceremony they had, everybody was here and everybody was excited to be celebrating a brand new building. Just look at it. It's beautiful. Somebody asked me what happens if you get hurt. Well, it's actually pretty cool. They have their own first aid room here. So same thing, we go in, the lights turn on, they've got some cupboards here, so the bandages and everything will be installed in here. It's kind of a nice little private area, so if a player gets hurt, or maybe even a fan, in here they can come. Window back out so you can see what's going on. And see how close we are to the benches here? That's pretty neat too, because you expect it'll usually be a player that gets hurt. Well, it's not far from the bench into the first aid room to get a little bit of attention and hopefully get feeling better and back to the hockey game. Well, that pretty much does our tour of the rink for today. I suggest you come out and see it. If you get to go to a hockey game here as a fan, you'll love the seating. If you get to come play here, you'll like it even better because it's a top-notch facility where you're going to feel right at home. If you haven't already subscribed to Travels with Bill, why don't you do that now? We're traveling all over Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, looking at interesting things like the arena here in Cote, but so much more too, and we'd love to take you on the journey with us. Speaking of journey, looks like my ride is ready to get going. There's the mayor saying, "Come on, Bill, hurry up, get in the van. We gotta get going." Actually, he's busy eating fish. But for now, from outside the brand new arena at the Cote First Nation, we'll see you on the next episode of Travels with Bill.